I have been on that end of the traditional, of the logical, of the scientific side. I know it very well. I know it inside out. And so I can kind of get in and see with them what it is what energetic vibration, what is the frequency that is missing. They're looking for ease. They're looking for grace. They're looking for a breath, you know?
Hello everyone, here is Coaching Creo. My name is Stanisława and today I'm going to talk about how to unlock our genius and expand our possibilities. Here is the moment to say who is my guest. Is one lady, she is intuitive energy healer. She always very psychic and would heal the situations around her. But it's not just these things. She always doing something with her energy and magnetize the money. However, she started and stopped her journey many times. How she always explained to me, it was not the done in her culture. Very welcome to Shirley Joffe, and I'm so happy and blessed to have you here. Enjoy. What is the big problem when the people they're coming to you and they start to asking you how you can help them?
So usually they have hit a ceiling. So they might have been doing lots of things in a logical way. So they'll be working their business in the normal sales, marketing, all of the traditional manners. Some of them may have even gone into a bit of healing and a bit of therapy, and they still find themselves stuck because they feel like they've got framework and guidance and rules, even within the spiritual community. So what they do is they pile more and more work on. So whether it's from the traditional perspective where they do more and they try and find different, tactics to do things, or whether it's from the healing perspective where they're starting to do loads of inner work and they're uncovering. But what they actually end up doing is giving themselves more to do. And it gets frustrating. They get lost. Even from the perspective of being told to do spiritual practice every day, it's like an extra to-do on the to-do list. So when they come to me, they're looking for ease. They're looking for grace. They're looking for a breath,
I can recognize myself on that way. I'm all the time, every one day, I'm just looking on my notes. Okay, I've done this, I've done that. In the same time, I'm like pushing myself.
Yeah, it's a push, it's a hustle.
Yeah, in the end of the day, I'm just like, and oh my gosh, I'm too much tired. Yes, it is true. Okay, but how you work with them? What is your signature?
So for me, I have been on that end of the traditional, of the logical, of the scientific side. I know it very well. I know it inside out. And so I can kind of get in and see with them what it is what energetic vibration, what is the frequency that is missing that makes them need to do more and more and more and more. Why do they feel that it takes action or too much action? Because there will be action, but it's a different type of action. When we work together, I am looking to declutter their energetic orbit. So that's not to say they're going to just lounge around and do nothing. There will be things that they will do, but it will feel much more flowing, much more free. And even the to-do list, we put expansion and space and ease around even the to-do list, and we do it in different ways. So each person actually requires a different approach. I'm very bespoke, very tailored. So depending on the energy of the person, some people are real doers, some people need to do the outward pushing, other people need introspection. and space, what I do is I clear everything out so that they then have that space to know and to feel deep inside them what is the correct path. And that correct path may be very, very wide, but they can navigate through it with joy and ease. My aim is to have their lives extraordinary and magnificent with joy and bliss.
Can you explain me a little bit more deeply in that process how you work with your clients?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so typically, depending on where my clients are, they'll either do 3 months or 6 months with me. Sometimes they can squish it down to less, but typically 3 or 6 months. We do weekly sessions with week integration. So they will work one-on-one, either online or when this lockdown ends, some people might even be able to work face-to-face. And I use a proprietary system which I've developed. So it's a combination of all the years of experience and my talents. So it's not just one modality that I use to work with them to do the practical and the unlocking side. I also, when they're working with me one-on-one, because I find that there sometimes needs to be support in between, they have access to me on demand as well. So if things are popping up in their life, they literally have me at the end of WhatsApp or Messenger, and I will guide them through those triggers, because oftentimes those are the things that really help to move them along. And then at the behind the scenes, because I do a lot of energy clearing and remote work, they will have the benefit of my including them and doing special work for them on the back end of the energetic spectrum.
Yeah.
Very, very multifaceted, but it's full support. It is a full VIP support system for them. Yeah, because it's when you're booking sessions sort of weekly, it's lovely because you've got that time to look forward to speaking with them. But what happens in the meanwhile, when you have like a really rough day, you're having meetings and you need on-the-spot support to get you through the business.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I do it very, very quick. It's like 5-10 minute laser sessions with them. And they'll just say, what do you think? What's going on? And I'll tune in and I'll say, right, okay, this is what's happening. This is what we need to lift. What would it take for you? And then we release it. And then they can move on to help them to become even more productive than where they are.
Yeah. Shirley, you say just in the beginning, you clear that space. How is working that clearing? How is your practice, for example?
So I do it in twofold. So we will literally go into the energetics of the person. So going inside, if there are any limitations, blocks, things that are holding them back, and that's done from the healing perspective. Yeah. But equally, I will get right down with them within their business, and as they describe things to me, I can feel what it's doing to their energy. And I'll be able to say, okay, so this particular piece that you're doing today, this is closing your energy down. So maybe this piece needs to be lifted and transformed. So on a very practical basis, as well as the healing and the energy part.
Okay, but how you start your journey? What was your aha moment?
So I actually realized that I was in tune with energy from the get-go. I was the weirdo that would see spirits and see fairies. You know, I would see stuff, very clairvoyant, very much hands-on healer as well. I would be asked to read coffee grounds and to help with people's pain. So family hands-on girl. And it wasn't really the done thing. So it was kind of like played at, and I would be used for it. But on the other hand, the message I got was, get your degree, go to university, get a professional you know, career, in my culture, marry a rich man, you know, have a family. There was very much a path, and I'm quite a rebel, and I didn't like the path. So, but rather than completely moving away from my family, because I feel family is very, very important, I was quite sneaky, and I used to do the other stuff underlying. So I would, you know, fulfill the expectations while hiding and still doing what I wanted to do. And there's only so much you can actually do that. And going through various successful careers in corporate, in fitness, it was still stifling. It became more stifling, especially as my abilities grew and grew. It was almost like, you know, you can't keep the lid on anymore. And it came to a head after I'd had my first child, and I was working 24/7 for an internet marketing company. I was their CEO. And because they were global, I would literally be up all hours. The psychic side literally just like went into overdrive. And I couldn't handle the actual, you know, practical reality work, 3D work, as well as that. And I started to get very sick. I started to pick up everybody else's energies. I started to absorb my family's pain. And I ended up bedridden for 2 years with chronic fatigue and fibromyalgia. What I didn't realize at the time is it wasn't my pain that I was holding. My family was going through a really tough time. And yeah, so I ended up in bed. And from that, because it made me stop working completely, my other abilities got more prevalent. And there was just something deep inside me that was not willing to give up. It's like, this is not permanent. I know it's not permanent. I know that it doesn't belong to me, but I couldn't quite get it in my head. It's like, you know something, but you haven't realized it yet. So I looked at every single alternative way of getting better. And eventually lots of things contributed to my journey, but it allowed me to learn more and more about my gifts. So I learned and mastered many modalities while being very, very ill, until I realized the key, which was everything is energy, and I was just picking everyone else's up. So once I was able to clear myself, my field, now I'm able to use that capacity to help others, because I can step into someone's world, pick up what's going on, step out, and then access the quantum to transform it. And the other part of that is the prosperity wealth side, which I kind of always had. So I would kind of materialize money and things for business. My family would take me we had my extended family, cousins and uncles and everything. They had lots of shops and wholesale and export and import places. And around 11 or 12, I would literally be taken to each place because it was recognized in the family. When Shirley steps in, business follows, money follows, and the business opens. And I didn't really realize I didn't realize what was going on, but afterwards my dad said, this is what we used to do. We used to send, take you to the places, and
So you are here, you're in coaching crew, so everything will go on the flow.
Yeah, everything will go on the flow, I'm telling you. It's funny because my husband says to me, sometimes you just have to have a conversation with someone, and then they go off and money arrives.
Shirley, I'm blessed. So I'm blessed.
Oh, you are welcome.
Okay, but can you share with us how you feel when the people, they start to change the life, to start to see how everything is coming different?
Yeah, it is so how to explain it. We're all connected. Everybody is connected. So when my clients change, it feels like they have rippled out and started to change the consciousness of the world. So it's much more impact than just for them. I work so closely with them. It's almost like it feels like a shared enthusiasm, a shared passion, a shared success. I find it very difficult to express it because it fills me up so much just to see somebody receive everything that's their birthright to receive.
It's so nice.
It really does. It fills me with a lot of emotion. And I find it, as I said, I find it very difficult to express. I feel so grateful that they have chosen me to help. That's the other thing, you know, that they've allowed me into their world, which is sacred space. Everybody's essence is a sacred space for me. So to be allowed in, to be shown their innermost desires, their innermost pain, and to trust me, to be able to guide them, because they do the changes, but to help, to be able to guide that change. Yeah, I feel very, very blessed, because so for me, I always think, I think to myself, you know, I could have gone through my whole life and not awakened and not really been opened up to this gift. And that would be a shame, I think. And I think that would be a shame for everybody, that they get to a certain point and they've maybe not fulfilled the potential that they can really reach. And it doesn't have to be like, you know, major world cataclysmic changing things. Because, you know, the way I describe a miracle is anything that just brings bliss and joy to the world. That can be right down to, I don't know, raising a child. This, you know, I think for me, the spectrum is wide. I work on the visionary end, but equally, if I can help someone's home life change, and that means that, you know, the family then grows and becomes harmonious, that is equally as fulfilling for me. There is no wrong and right. There is no judgment. There is only possibilities, potential, and space.
Shirley, I know you have a gift for everyone who catch this interview. So can you give me a little bit more information about your mini solution?
Yeah, my mini solution. I've done a secret sauce video, which gives some tips on how to unlock that genius inside, to open yourself up. So there's some practical tips in there, and I've also done a really lovely activation and energy clearing that's included, that can be used every day, and it will just open people up more and more and more. And that will be available, so you'll be able to distribute that. I don't know. Yeah. So it's literally a video to help you understand what the genius is, how to unlock it, 3 very, very simple ways of doing that. And they're simple, but they're very powerful. So I prepared a couple of, say, 4 or 5 downloads, which I can do with people right here, right now, which will help them to just loosen up if that's appropriate.
Okay. Brilliant. It sounds good. It's amazing. So, dear friends and everyone who will see this video, you can send the comment below, #genius, and then I will contact you and send the video of Shirley. So you can have, of course, you can have the direct contact with her. Feel free to contact her, and make more questions, of course. If you want to join her online courses, of course, she can support you. She can give you more information. Do you want to share with us what's going on, the new project?
What's coming up, there's a few things, really laser focus in. They can actually take a day with me, and that will be, they can choose to do, you know, whatever they want with me on that day. So if they just need like a complete life realignment, then we do that in a day. So that's a VIP experience. So that's coming up. And also I've had a lot of people ask me to teach them some of the techniques that I use. So I've also included, again, it is bespoke. So they might say to me, oh, Shirley, can you teach me how you use, I don't know, crystals, for example, to help in the work that you're doing with me? I'd really like that. Would you teach me how to use cards? Or because I use mystical things.
Yeah.
And it might be even, can you teach me how to do a project plan that's brainstormed? Because I have that expertise. Yeah. So those, anything that's business supportive and life supportive. So again, that usually is done on half a day. Otherwise, it's too much for people, and they're busy.
Yeah.
So those are the two new things that are coming up. Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, so the people also, they can have support from you to teach them how you're using this or that kind of techniques to work with the energy. Brilliant. Yeah. Do you want to wish something for these people who will see you here in our broadcast?
Yeah, I would first of all wish for you to be able to feel joy and bliss and ease and grace in your life. If you'd like that, just allow that in, surrender to that. And also for you to be able to bring in the possibility of infinite possibilities. And that will just start that journey opening for you.
Thank you. Thank you, dear.
You're welcome.
Bless you too.